available. It feels like things happened pretty quickly. And obviously the moves that we knew were going to happen. We knew Kevin Durant was going somewhere. I don't know that we knew that Desmond Bane was going to be on the move. I guess we thought that, hey, the Grizzlies are going to do something. Not sure what.
I think that was the most shocking trade.
I would say so too. Plus what the Magic gave up. I have a take on Paolo Banchero that I'm not going to share now, but let's just say it's a very important season for Paolo Banchero. And the other name I'm going to bring up is Justin Herbert.
Okay.
If you catch my drift.
I don't, but I'm curious to see where you go with that.
I don't think he has the same hype as Justin Herbert, but I'm starting to feel like somebody recently put Paolo Banchero in their top 10, right, on one of these athlete pods. And I'm thinking, okay, he's in the East. Can we get to a second round?
He's also, though, for the last, I think it's like 10 years, only him and Luka have averaged 28 points per game in the playoffs.
I like Paolo, but like I said, conversation for a different day. Right now, it's time for the Swatter Boy, the Slim Duck.
What?
Trey Boucher.
I feel like that gave it away.
Chris Boucher of the Toronto Raptors, or formerly of the Toronto Raptors, 32 years old, okay? He's played 407 games, 8.9 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, 0.5 assists per game for his career, 48.8% from the field, 33.9% from three, 77.9% from the free throw line. He goes 6'9", all right? Power forward, center, small forward. This past season, he played 50 games, 10 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 0.7 assists per game, 49% from the field, 36% from three, 78% from free throw. All right, like I said, he is one of these kind of fours that we've been looking for. This past season, he played 17 minutes a game on the Raptors, a team that, they're in the midst of doing whatever it is they're doing. Then they traded for Brandon Ingram, and he was injured, couldn't even play. In 2021, he was 8th in Sixth Man of the Year voting. Kyle, I think this is a guy who I'm a bit surprised that he hasn't got signed yet. I'm not sitting here and saying Chris Boucher is – now, if he had the conversation, who's better, Chris Boucher or Trey Lyles, they're probably worth a conversation, but he's going to give you a little bit more length there. Last two seasons, he played 50 games in 2024, 2025, 50 games in 2023, 2024. Then prior to that, in 2023, he played 76 games. In 2022, he played 80 games. And all these, he was on the Warriors for a hot time. He played one game with the Warriors. He's been in Toronto this whole time. And he did get that ring. He did get that ring, that 2018, 2019. He played 28 games, but he's a champion.
Oh, he is a champion.
He is a champion.
He's a champion the same way that Jeremy Lin is a champion from that Raptors team.
That's right. So, look, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors did. I think that the Kings should give him a look. I don't know. I feel like every day where you don't hear Trey Lyles being discussed, I feel like every day you don't hear that is a better chance that he comes back to the Kings, and I don't think you would need both of them. But if Trey Lyles does want to go somewhere else, then I think this is a conversation to have. So Bleacher Report, Kyle, they put out a list, the 25 best NBA free agents still available, from our guy Eric Pincus, and Chris Boucher on this list. A lot of Chris's here. They have Chris Boucher at number 10 on this list out of 25. Where do you think they have Trey Lyles at?
Oh, gosh, that's a great question. I don't know. I'll say like 14.
They have Trey Lyles at 21.
What?
They have Trey Lyles at 21.
Trey Lyles movement.
That's crazy.
And I guess, they say turns 30 in November. Will he continue his career in Sacramento after 4 years with changes to the front office and coaching staff? He may be less of a priority. His minutes didn't dip much last year, but his three-point shooting did. That may have to do with the team losing its point guard, but it may be time for Lyles to move on. Prediction, Lyles may not find a home immediately, but he's a proven vet who can help the end of a team's bench or mentor younger players in a rebuild.
Aw, he's Jay Crowder.
He's not that yet. That's disrespectful. That's rude. That's more rude than the text. This is what they had to say about Chris Boucher. Boucher and he made $10.8 million last season. So right there in the MLE, go get him. Boucher is a long, athletic wing, but at 6'9", 200 pounds, and a propensity for launching threes, he's more of a small forward than a center. He earns his place in the league with his energy, but at 32 years old, he may not have widespread appeal. Still, teams gravitate towards size and scoring. Boucher averaged 10 points a game in just 17.2 minutes. He should find a new home before long. Prediction. This may seem repetitive, but perhaps the Golden State Warriors take a flyer. No, Eric Pincus. The Kings should take a flyer.
This is actually a fact.
On Chris Boucher. That's what I'm saying, Kyle. It's very simple to me. He can shoot the three. He's long. I think he's better than Dario Saric. I'm pretty sure he's better than Dario Saric. He would have played on the Nuggets. I'm fairly certain.
Well, Dario Saric last year shot 26% from the three-point line. So
he didn't play.
Yeah, I know. But let's go back to his season before. He is a better three-point shooter than Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher's best season is not as good as Dario Saric's 24, 23, 22, and 21 seasons. So
just take both of them. I'm not saying to get rid of Dario Saric. I'm saying to just add them. Go get length, man.
What does that mean for Isaac Jones? You're just a deep bench guy.
This goes back to what Scott Perry said yesterday, right? And how much he believes in this team right now and what he's trying to accomplish. If he is going to get Malcolm Brogdon and he's really trying to make some type of move this season, then I would make your team as good as possible and not just throw Isaac Jones out there to get him reps.
No,
I don't think Isaac Jones is better than Chris Boucher is my point.
I agree with that. But so last year when the injuries came up, right? Let's just say it's Dario Saric and who knows, maybe Drew Eubanks will get some run. I don't think he will, but let's just say maybe he does. Then if one of those guys get hurt, yes, you definitely need a lengthy four.
Right.
At which point, didn't the Bleacher Report story just kind of say Trey Lyles might not find a home right away? Maybe there's a Trey Lyles type player or a Jay Crowder type player that happens to be available come training camp or come November that you can pick up on the fly then. But I'm just kind of...
You're saying you just don't need Boucher right now?
I'm saying you don't need Boucher and Dario Saric. I'm not saying Dario Saric is even going to be on the team come training camp. I just don't feel like you need both of them.
I think you do.
For a roster spot? Wouldn't you rather...
You read off the front court. What do I rather what?
Would you rather that roster spot go to a young player or go to Boucher, who will be a contributor, but on a one-year basis?
I guess this is my way of saying I'm not sure how much they should invest in Isaac Jones. I mean, I guess it's, and maybe I'm doing the thing because of, he's not a top pick, right? If it's taking reps away from Maxime Reynaud, then okay, we could have that conversation.
It probably won't unless Reynaud and Sabonis are going to play together.
And that's what I'm saying. So as far as Isaac Jones is concerned, if you're trying to make this move, and let's not forget, I would be more so too, because somebody on social media said the Kings are in a perfect spot. They can stink, and they're going to stink and get a top pick in next year's draft, or they're going to surprise all of us and make a run. No, hold on. No, that's not what we've seen these last couple years. they're going to be a 9-10 and get a 13. They're the Raiders. They're going to get a 13th pick, a 10th pick, a 9th pick. No, that's not where they're headed. They're not going to stink.
I guess I'm doing less of a big picture thing and more so the third string power forward position is just not that important in the grand scheme of things.
It is when your second string is Dario Saric.
Would you rather the third stringer be Dario Saric, or we just say sayonara to Dario Saric? Because I'm like,
I just think it's by committee. I just think you got Boucher, you got Saric.
So goodbye Isaac Jones is that situation, which maybe that is. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying
Isaac Jones might be better than Dario Saric.
Totally could. In which case we say goodbye to Dario Saric.
I would say it like this. All I know, and maybe Trey Lyles is better than all three of them.
Yeah.
Right? All I know is that Chris Boucher is better, in my opinion, than Isaac Jones and Dario Saric.
Yes, and you're making the point of the number 3 we can figure out later. Mm-hmm. The number 2 is just not good enough right now.
Right.
And therefore you should bring in a Chris Boucher to play the 17 minutes per game that Keegan Murray is not going to be on the floor.
And if Isaac Jones can't beat out Dario Saric's skeleton, then that tells us all we need to know. And that's where I'm at with this. All right. When we return, as much as I want to talk about length, Brogdon is the conversation that's been coming up from the likes